And now let's cover the rules of React documentation from the React.dev official documentation. Just as different programming languages have their own ways of expressing concepts, React has its own idioms or rules for how to express patterns in a way that is easy to understand and yields high-quality applications. So, components and hooks must be pure. React calls components and hooks rules of hooks. Okay, let's read. To learn more about expressing UIs with React, we recommend reading Thinking in React. Let's go over to that. Thinking in React. Maybe I will do this one for next video. I definitely should read this one. So this section describes the rules you need to follow to write idiomatic React code. Writing idiomatic React code can help you write well-organized, safe, and composable applications. These properties make your app more resilient to changes and makes it easier to work with other developers, libraries, and tools. These rules are known as the rules of React. They are rules and not just guidelines, in a sense that if they are broken, your app likely has bugs. Your code also becomes unidiomatic and harder to understand and reason about. We strongly recommend using strict mode alongside React's ESLint plugin to help your codebase follow the rules of React. By following the rules of React, you will be able to find and address these bugs and keep your application maintainable. Let's see, we know about the strict mode. Let's see the ESLint plugin. Plugin React hooks enforces rules of hooks. Okay, let's see. Note, if you're using Create React App, please use React scripts instead of adding it directly. So I have to check, is this included in Create React App? Is it included in Vite? Or do I have to install it separately? But I guess there are many downloads, so maybe it is not included automatically. Anyways. Components and hooks must be pure. Purity in components and hooks is a key rule of React that makes your app predictable, easy to debug, and allows React to automatically optimize your code. Using the React compiler, which is coming in React 19, which I talked about in the last video, and which was widely talked about on the React conference 2024. Components must be... So what does it mean? Purity in components and hooks. What does that mean? Must be pure. Okay, so I guess this is just a brief overview, and it goes deep down the rabbit hole, so I guess I will have to make a video for each one of these. But for now, let's just finish these rules of React, and then I will come back to it in the future videos. React components are assumed to always return the same output with respect to their inputs, props, state, and context. So components must be idempotent, I guess. Side effects must run outside of render. Side effects should not run in render, as React can render components multiple times to create the best possible user experience. Props and state are immutable. A component's props and state are immutable snapshots with respect to a single render. Never mutate them directly. Return values and arguments to hooks are immutable. Once values are passed to a hook, you should not modify them. Like props in JSX, values become immutable when passed to a hook. The values are immutable after being passed to JSX. Don't mutate values after they've been used in JSX. Move the mutation before the JSX is created. As I said, I will go deeply into this. So this next one is, in this next article, it is explained much better. So this is just a brief overview. React calls components and hooks. React is responsible for rendering components and hooks when necessary to optimize the user experience. Let's open that. Okay, so this is a different one. It is declarative. You tell React what to render in your component's logic, and React will figure out how best to display to user. Never call component function directly. Components should only be used in JSX. Don't call them as regular functions. Never pass around hooks as regular values. Hooks should only be called inside a component. Never pass it around as a regular value. Okay. Rules of hooks. Hooks are defined using JavaScript functions, but they represent a special type of reusable UI logic with restrictions on where they can be called. You need to follow rules of hooks when using them. Only call hooks at the top level. Don't call hooks inside loops, conditions, or nested functions. Instead, always use hooks at the top level of your React function before any early returns. Only call hooks from React functions. Don't call hooks from regular JavaScript functions. Okay. So, what do we have? Rules of React. Okay, that's the same. So we have this one. We have rules of React. We have rules of hooks. Is that the same? Components and hooks must be pure. Okay, we have this article. React calls. Yeah, okay, more rules. So components and hooks must be pure. Rules of React, rules of hooks, thinking in React. Okay, rules of hooks. What's this? React calls components and hooks. Okay, that's the same. Okay, so I found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 articles, I think, that I'm gonna make videos. React calls components and hooks. So these are some of the rules. Components and hooks must be pure. This one as well. Is this the same? No. Rules of React. Oh, this is what we are reading already. Rules of hooks. So rules of hooks and thinking in React. So these will be 4 new videos that I'm going to make about this, reading this documentation and trying to understand React better.